So what we want to have as officials is flexibility. I want to be able to tell a player, I want to talk to a player about what they did wrong in language that they can understand. One of the things that's really challenging is we talk about basketball and we talk about basketball as officials, and we want our language to be clean. We want it to be rules book influenced and what have you. But we're communicating as human beings, basketball fans, etc., and we have vernacular that we use that is just how people talking about basketball understand things, right? So what we wanted to have as officials is flexibility. I want to be able to tell a player, I want to talk to a player about what they did wrong in language that they can understand, not in language necessarily that's come out of the rules book. Now, if I'm presenting a ruling to two coaches, all right, we've had a situation on the court, we've come together as a crew, we're making a ruling, right? Now my language is going to be super precise and rules book based, 100%. I'm not going to add a lot of language that is, basketball jargon. Score the bucket. I wouldn't say that. I'd say we're going to score the goal and do this. But we want to be able to communicate. That's our number one objective. So I certainly don't espouse only speaking in rules book language, which can be really stiff and unyielding. If we want to communicate to a coach what a situation is when we're discussing something with them, our language is going to be a lot more pliable. But if we're presenting a ruling, and something that's really fantastic, and I wish there was a compilation that I could find, when the NBA this season had officials after review would go to the table, press a button, and their voice, and they would talk to the camera. The ruling on the play is this, because of this, and we will do this, and we will do this. So it's a little sort of informal information session with viewers of the broadcast and the stakeholders in the game, the announcers, etc. But some of the ruling language is just so impressive, and it would be great to have that available to us so that we can see the clarity of communication, the reference to the rule, but also how it's done in a fashion that communicates exactly what happens on the play. And yes, professional language was NFHS point of emphasis a few years ago. Absolutely. And having NFHS language in our tool belt is essential. We have to be able to communicate in that language. But we also need to communicate with people where they are at, right? If we really want to communicate with clarity, we need to have versatility in our language. That's my feeling, and I'm very strongly about that. You could see me struggling, right? You recognize, I just said something that clearly communicated what happened, but it was out of bounds in the restrictive language. And then it's not a basket, I mean a goal, right? So you see the struggle. The struggle is real, and the struggle is real. But here we're having an informal discussion. It's between basketball officials, and it's rules-based, and we want to have that vernacular. And we also want to, sort of share that language, hear that language. That's a positive thing. But if we step out and say that was a goal, that was a basket, that was a bucket, is there any confusion? No, there's not. But again, if we're at the table presenting a ruling at a key point of the game, rule, this is what we're going to do, etc., and it's going to be very disciplined language in that instance.